Hey, what's up, rock stars? It's Rox with a little bit of talk about what's at the top of the blog. So let's get to it. All right, rock stars, before we get started, I like to do a Rona check-in, see how y'all doing, how y'all living, how y'all feeling. Hopefully everybody out there is good. We are okay in the It's Rox household. So far, we've been able to escape the virus, and that's a good thing considering Georgia has been opening up everything. And I guess everybody is trying to get back to whatever this new normal is going to be. It's still very closed, though. A lot of places, even though they could open, a lot of places still haven't opened. So I know somebody was asking, how is it out here in Atlanta? As far as where I am, I'm in South Atlanta, over in my area, Camp Creek Marketplace and all. For the most part, most of the stores and the businesses over there, the nail shop, the hair salons, the restaurants and all, for the most part, are still closed. If some of the restaurants did happen to open, then they, you aren't, it's still for takeout. You're not able to dine in. So that's where it is on my parts, my neck of the woods. How is it where you guys are? I'm starting to see that more states are opening up, just like I told you was going to happen last week. All they needed was for one person to say they were going to do it, and then everybody else starts to jump in the pool, so to speak. So we're going to see what happens once all of the states start to open up, and if people are still going to be practicing this social distancing. I saw on the news they were saying that people have become a little bit more lax about it. We have seen over the weekend people were at the beach and not really far away from each other, actually right quite on top of each other. And this was in California. I was surprised about that, considering California has been really diligent about making people stay home and all of that, but then people was like, fuck it, this weekend, and went to Newport Beach of all beaches. I guess the other beaches still, they weren't able to gain access. So they're starting to report that people are starting to get lax on their social distancing. People are starting to move around a little bit more, frustration, tired of being in the home, feeling like, okay, I've escaped it this long, I should be okay, and so it's just until we see what happens in like 2 more weeks. And if we start to see these numbers start to drastically rise again, then we'll know that all of this that they're doing right now maybe wasn't a good idea. But we'll see. But again, hopefully all of the rock stars out there, your friends, your families are safe. Still shouting out to all of our first responders out there, all of our essential workers out there, people who still have to get out into the world and make it happen. Okay, I know it's not easy, especially for those of you who have families at home that you want to make sure that you keep them safe too and all of that. So look, I got you guys all. I pray every night that we can get some sort of answer and vaccination or medication that treats it or something. I mean, we need it. So that's all I wanted to do on my Rona check-in. You guys let me know how y'all doing, and we'll get on with the video. Let's talk about YSAVP. All right, I didn't even know how to say it, so I just had to give y'all the letters. Yeah, they say that Michael Pence went to the Mayo Clinic. He was there to visit recovering COVID-19 patients. And while he was there, he had decided that he was not going to wear a mask. Now, Mayo Clinic is like every other hospital, I would imagine, in the world probably right now, that is requiring for everyone to wear masks. That would be the visitors. That would be those who are working there, okay, because you have people who are, ill in the place, and they want to make sure that they prevent the spread of COVID-19. Well, YSAVP says that he didn't want to wear a mask because, the fact that he gets tested every day and he hasn't, he doesn't have the virus right now. He thought it would be better that he would be able to walk in there and look at these people face to face, talk to them face to face. Okay, he don't have it. The whole thing is, yeah, you don't have it, fool, but everybody else there have had it, So I don't know why he feels like the fact that he's escaped it thus far, that he, is exempt. Now, he might feel like he has the antibodies that we've been hearing about. And they're, hoping that, or they're saying that there's quite a large number of people who actually have been exposed to it and have been able to build up these antibodies. And so I guess that's maybe what he's saying. But still, you have somebody that is leading your nation, okay, that is so careless and reckless and going into, he could get sick. So, yeah, I don't know what goes through the minds of these people, but this all should be you guys need to really just understand that if you don't vote in November, okay, that this is the kind of full of fucking niggotry that we're going to have to be dealing with for 4 more fucking years. Okay, it is important to get YSAP and YSAVP out of that office. It just makes no sense to me. And you just look at them and you be like, am I talking to grade schoolers? Why the fuck you guys can't get this concept? Child, and we talking about YSAP and the fact that he felt like if you guys just get up under a UV light. I said, damn it, you mean to tell me all this fucking time that people been up here dying from this disease and all we had to do was go to the nail salon and figure out a way how we can curl up under the nail the nail UV lamp? Is that all we needed to do? YSAP? I was just like, he is really tripping. And then he's like, and maybe we can look into, like Lysol, it zaps it out. It zaps the disease out completely, Maybe we can look into, if it gets in the lungs, He's trying to sound real intelligent and, talking to his team over there. I know his team it took everything in them not to say, you is stupid as fuck. Maybe we can look into that. No, we're not looking into that. Please don't look into that. Let's not do that. I was like, even children know not to drink or ingest Lysol. And if you are doing those type of things, you're huffing, and that's not good either. So I was just like, oh my God. Oh my God. These are the people that's running the country right now, and probably the reason why we are in the condition that we are in. Not probably, 100% the reason why we are in the position that we are in right now. Yeah, I can't, child. You couldn't even make this shit up. I'm telling you, it is like being in the Twilight Zone. It is like being somewhere where you just every day you turn on the TV, you just be like, I cannot believe that this, do they really think this? Anyway, let me move on from there. So yeah, that's going on. We're going to see if Pence get to looking different in about 2 more weeks. What else can we talk about? Diamond and Silk. Okay. So they've apparently been fired from Fox News. I had absolutely no idea that they were hired at Fox News. Why would they be hired in the first place? They were Step and Fletcher. They were, I can honestly say on my mama that these are 2 women that I have never really given any of my attention to. Of course, I knew who they were from back when YSAP was campaigning. And, they were up there on the stand, and then, he kind of took them in because he was fascinated. But after that, I just, whenever they would show up and people would have them on their blogs and things, I gave them absolutely no attention, none. So I don't know nothing about those women. They're not on my radar. I just, I don't know nothing about that. So when I saw that they were fired from Fox, I was like, you mean to tell me Fox had hired them in the first place? But you know why they did that. They knew that our folks was not really proud of those women, and it was sort of like a kick in the gut, of them putting them out there and them exploiting themselves the way that they did. So evidently they've fired these women because in the midst of this whole Rona situation, they have been putting out outlandish conspiracy theories. I didn't even take the time to figure out what the conspiracy theories were that they were putting out there. But evidently what they were saying was enough where Fox was like, we can't get with this no more. And they let the ladies go. You can't tell me that they wasn't going to keep those ladies on even if YSAP was not, reelected. They was going to be out anyway. So what, 5-6 months ahead of time? Yay. no harm, no foul. So yeah, looks like Diamond and Silk, they are out. And what else can we talk about in politics? Oh, Biden, it looks like he's been endorsed by Hillary Clinton and by Nancy Pelosi. So the girls have gone on and gotten behind him, which is not surprising, especially right now, because Biden cannot even get out and campaign and really do anything. I read an article where he's doing everything from his house, his basement, and I know that has to be frustrating. It's just really interesting times, you guys, in this political climate. I really honestly hope that Joe Biden wins. I just don't know what else to say about that. I just hope that he wins, because you guys, I go back to my video that I made when Weissap was elected, and I told you guys then that I felt like it was about to just be a lot of confusion and chaos, and that's where we are today. I can't even tell you what it would be in 4 years if he's still there. So yeah, you guys, I know it's many of you out there stubborn saying there's no way you can get behind Biden, but what is the alternative? That is what you guys need to think about, okay? And we're going to move on off of politics. Now, some more fallout from COVID-19 crisis. The meat shortages, long and short of it, is that we have these meat processing plants, huge plants, Smithfield, Tyson, to name a few. The workers are coming down with COVID-19. It's interrupting the daily output of the meat, all right? You cannot have people sick and on this line, assembly line, packaging meat if they don't feel well. They said somewhere around 20 so far have died. And it's just social distancing, for all intents and purposes, does not work in these meat processing plants, because they have ramped up production over the years as the demand for meat grew and grew over the years. And so they have these people working in these plants basically elbow to elbow. Okay, so you cannot social distance and still expect to be able to put out this meat that they have been putting out thus far. Now, they say that they could put in, social distancing measures and implement certain things within these plants that would maybe make certain groups more safe, but they're saying that that's expensive, and they're saying that they're not going to do it, basically, or they're not going to do it for the most part because it doesn't work. Now, I guess they say that they can start making more robots, but I think when it all boils down to it, these meat processing plants, it has to have an actual person that is handling the meat and the bone and all of that is going through. So yeah, they're having extreme problems. And so now they're saying that if they do start to shut down these plants, or if they start to really, really lower the output, then that's where you're going to have meat shortages, because not only are they not putting the meat out, obviously, but they also are going to hike up the prices of meat so that they can kind of try to keep their business running. So whereas you potentially would pay $5 for a pack of chicken, or, $8 for a T-bone steak, that shit could go up to $50, $60. Okay, I'm talking about the not so good cuts that you just get at the regular grocery store, not your Kobe beef and things like that. So that is not a good thing for that industry, but it's also affecting the crops out there. COVID-19, as the demand goes down, now you have all of these people having to destroy their crops, I guess, so that it's not damaging their land, the ground. And, I guess they'll go back to it this year, but you can imagine that the crops, the owners of these crops and things are losing exorbitant amounts of money as well. And they're hoping that the government steps in. I know that the government has told the meat processing plants that they cannot close. I don't know. They can't close, but everybody's sick. Either everybody's going to be working and sick. What they're going to say, the ones that are, that have the symptoms, but can still operate day to day. Like, I don't know how they're going to do that. But, yeah, that is another fallout from the COVID-19 crisis. Boy, I'm going to be really sad if meat goes up like that, because you guys, I am a carnivore for real. I love steak. I love red meat. I love meat. I love food. I want to be able to eat it when I want to. And this is pretty scary. So I know I got a lot of vegans out there and people who don't eat red meat and things like that. But it still trickled down, you guys, and eventually it gets to all areas of food. So something that we need to be concerned about and, you know, keep our eye on. And when I know more, I will tell you more. Rest in peace to Ashley Ross, better known as Miss Minnie. She's from the TV show, the WE show, Little Women Atlanta. She was killed in what they're calling a hit and run accident right here, not too far from where I live, actually, South Atlanta. She was on Old National. And they say that they're saying that it was a hit and run, but it's starting to sound like, well, let me tell you what happened. So she was on Old National. She was traveling south, I believe. And they say for some reason she lost control of her car. She ended up jumping the curb, and then she went over into the next, she went over onto the oncoming traffic and hit a car that was traveling northbound head on. And I'm not sure if she had her seatbelt on or what, but they said that she sustained really bad injuries, serious injuries. They took her to a local hospital, and then she died of her injuries there. The other car that she hit, she was in a Nissan Sentra. The other car that she hit was a Ford Focus. And they say that car, the driver sustained minor injuries. So I'm wondering if she may have not had her seatbelt on. And but then I also am wondering why they would call it a hit and run, because there was another car that was involved in that car, right? You know, they had that person. I'm thinking maybe they're calling it a hit and run is because whatever made her lose control of her car in the first place, it may have been another car that did something to cause her to swerve over into the other side and hit that person. But yeah, you guys, I never watched Little Women Atlanta. I don't know I know who she is, but I don't know the show. I never watched the show. But I was still saddened to see that. Of course, I don't want to see people die. Very, very sad. I don't even know if she had children. I did not check that out. Let me see if I can look it up real fast. Okay, they're saying that, I guess on the show, there was some storyline where she was supposed to be having a baby by Pastor Troy, but supposedly she had made that whole thing up and that she was never pregnant. So I'm assuming that means that she doesn't have any kids, because I haven't been able to look and see here if she does. But I'm sure she leaves behind a host of family and friends and fans. She was 34 years old. Rest in peace, Ashley Ross, better known as Miss Minnie. All right, you guys, this whole story with Jennifer Williams. I went on ahead and listened to the video. She was being interviewed by you guys know who I'm talking about from The Breakfast Club. Why can't I think of the child's name? You know who I'm talking about. Angela Yee. There was an interview with her lawyer, and another woman who had been scammed by this gentleman by the name of, well, depending on who you ask, it's either Daniel Nickel, Craig Nickel, Aaron Nickel, whatever his name is. She's claiming that this guy scammed her and took her Range Rover. So I listened to the whole story. I believe that she was scammed. Yeah, I do believe that. But I also believe that maybe Jennifer Williams is a little bit naive when it comes to men, and maybe attracts these men that are not... she's had problems with Tim from Sweeties. You guys remember him. Supposedly he took advantage of her and did all kind of things and became a stalker and all that. Now she's having problems with this new guy, who I don't know how he might have finessed her, but he was able to get the keys of the car and never return the car. And now he's saying that he paid off the car and it should belong to him. And I can't get into all that. All I want to say is Jennifer Williams needs to maybe start to look internally, and why does she seem to attract these same type of men? Now, I can remember back, I I can remember a while ago, she was on The Breakfast Club being interviewed again by Angela Yee, and she was talking about moving here to Atlanta. She said she was seeing somebody and it was going really well. He was a businessman, you know, not in the industry. And she liked that fact, and that, you know, that it was going well. She's moving here. Now, fast forward to now, I'm wondering if this is the guy that she was talking about back then. They were in a relationship, but this guy took advantage of her. Now, he goes to post all of this stuff. He obviously is out there somewhere. I mean, he's on social media for whatever reason. I guess they just can't find him. But he posts on social media how, you know, they were in a relationship, or at least she wanted more of a relationship than he did. She moved out here without him telling her to do so, you know, jumped up and moved out here. And he goes and posts all of this shit that her talking about Shani and Evelyn, and her supposedly having nudes of the daughter that she should have released, and, you know, all of these things that she's saying about Basketball Wives, which I also believe she probably said, you know. But none of that still matters when it comes to the fact that the man probably stole her car, okay? Or she handed over her car and then took a long time to try to get it back. And, you know, now 5-6 months later, she's doing all of this, and it's just a whole lot, you guys. When you read it, you just be like, girl, why are you going? I mean, what is it that you keep on getting these same type of niggas for? So, yeah, he tried to make her look bad and say that, you know, she was talking about her cast, okay, from Basketball Wives, but I don't think that's surprising to most of us, because those Basketball Wives women are of a different breed. But it still doesn't stop the fact that he probably did steal her car. But yeah, I'm gonna need y'all some of y'all I know who watch me are good friends with Jennifer Williams, so I'm gonna need y'all to have a conversation with her. Maybe try to see what it is. Maybe we need to concentrate on self and not be trusting you know, all of these, because it is a whole, I mean, it's definitely scammers out here in Atlanta. So hopefully she'll be able to get her car back. And I guess she's now doing this whole campaign to find out where he is and everything, because she wants justice to be served. And, you know, he's evidently has a trail. He has a trail of doing these things to women over the last 20 years. He's been getting away with it all this, but hopefully he won't be getting away with it anymore. Good luck to you, Jennifer Williams, girl. Hope you get your Range Rover back. Next story up, you guys want me to talk about the Real Housewives of Atlanta reunion. What the fuck am I talking about? The reunion hasn't come on yet. You know, I thought it was coming on Sunday. I was all prepared. I even thought about maybe doing a live YouTube video and we could all watch it together. And that way I wouldn't even have to fuck with it the next day, because it would already be done. But they ended up doing that damn Secrets Revealed mess, and I was just like, I'm not watching this. I'm not even, no. Okay. Now you guys are asking me to talk about the reunion, and it hasn't happened yet. Yes, I know that Nene has put out these videos of her, what I call damage control videos, just trying to say her part, you know, defend herself or say her part before the show comes on, so that we'll have, like, I guess the backstory of why she was the way that she was. My whole thing is, you said that they were asking you so many questions. Why couldn't you seem to get all of this information off then that, you know, you're saying freely on your YouTube channel? These YouTube channels that they allow the housewives to have, like, I'm surprised that Bravo even lets them do that. There must have been some sort of loophole in their contract. And, you know, now Bravo lets them, you know, doesn't have any choice but to let them speak or do whatever they're going to do over there. But to me, it's like, you know, I don't know if any of the housewives, Candy included, even though Candy doesn't use hers much for scandal, but, you know, I don't know if that's the best idea, that they should be able to be over there and speaking about shit that might contradict what happens on the show, you know? So, yeah, I watched it, and, you know, I did giggle in some parts. I mean, Nene is funny to me, you know, but she's also quite shady, and, you know, she can also be a bitch, and, you know, the things that she said, it just sounds like damage control. You know, her talking about the coincident. Was that a coincidence? the fact that she was in black and everybody else was in white. I don't think that that was a coincidence. I think that they did that on purpose. I think there might have been just been one producer or somebody that might have been slick and did some shit like that. Maybe the whole team wasn't privy to it, but yeah, I didn't know if I felt like that was a coincidence. But then she goes on about, I don't care about all of this shit that Nene says, because I go by what's on the show. I ain't got time for all of these backstories. That's why I don't really watch all of these extras. People will be like, Roxanne, you didn't watch the extra scene? No, I didn't watch it because I'm watching the show and that's the fuck it. All of this extra and you put the shit on the damn show, or what the hell we need to talk about it for, So I know everybody really loves all of the scandal of the, all of the backstage gossip and all of that, but I just don't, But yeah, she's entertaining. So some of the stuff she says, I don't know why she has it out for Eva, but when she talked about her wearing other women's shoes, that shit was kind of funny to me. I don't know why she's making a big deal that she's 35 and she's, just buying her house. I mean, some people never buy a house, and I don't know why Nene forgets that when she first came on the show, she ain't had shit like she has now either. Everybody has to start somewhere. Nobody was fucking crazy rich back when they first started on the show. Everybody was broke not broke, but you know what I mean, with the exception of Candy. Everybody else was pretty average. They were trying to look like they was way more than what they were. And then of course, as the show has grown in progress and now they making good money, now they rich. Okay. But when they first started, they didn't. So Eva, I don't think that she was definitely a known person. She's a celebrity, okay, of her own right. And, when she came on the show, she might not have had the money like the rest of the girls did, but, she did okay for herself. And maybe she hadn't bought a house, but, it's like, why does that, what does that have to do with anything? People forget where they come from. When things is going really well for them, they forget where they started. So that's why when she talks about Eva and her supposed struggles, that doesn't do anything to me. If anything, makes you look worse because you've been there before too. And you obviously have forgotten. So, but other than that, it's nothing to talk about the reunion. When the reunion comes on, I'll talk about the reunion. How's that? All right, you guys, these producer battles, the verses. There was a gospel one this past week, and I missed it. Had absolutely no idea that Hezekiah Walker and John P. Key were going up against each other. Just had no idea. Okay, so I missed the whole thing. I saw that one of the rock stars inboxed me. I think I saw it 3 or 4 hours after the damn thing had streamed. So I didn't even see it. I didn't even go back to watch it, you guys. But hopefully it went really well. If you watched it, you guys let me know how that went. Y'all know I love me some John P. Key. And of course, you've got to love Hezekiah Walker. He's been around for 100,000 years. So on the gospel front, we'll see if we see more of the battles there. That would be interesting and nice to see. Who else would you guys like to see on the gospel in the gospel community go against each other? Y'all put that down there in the comments below. But then on the other side, let's talk about Diddy and Dre. Now last week I did tell you guys that I thought that Dre would win, but then that's just West Coast in me. Always gonna support West Coast food, whatever you say, nigga. West Coast all day, every I had to really think about it. I was talking to Mr. and Mr. was like, no, Puffy would definitely win that, Roxanne. Because really Dr. Dre only has rap. Okay. Puffy, even though I think they're only just comparing hits, but much like how Babyface and Teddy Riley kind of was mismatched in the way that Teddy Riley's was more like hip. Well, it was that New Jack Swing and just like that, it was more like hip hop-ish, where Babyface was a little bit more in different genres. Well, it's the same with Puffy and Dr. Dre. Dr. Dre, for the most part, is just hip hop, is just rap. Had Who Truth Hurts as a singer, and who else did he have as sing, well, of course, Michelle. But other than that, most of his music that we know that were hits like that were rap, you know, where Puffy has rap artists, he has, you know, R&B artists, Total, Carl Thomas, I almost said Carl Lewis. 112. I mean, then he has Mace, and he had Biggie, and he had, you know, and then Mary J, even though she wasn't on Bad Boy, but, you know, he produced a lot for her. I mean, he has so many other genres of music that I don't know, maybe Puffy would probably, you know, end up winning that battle. We'll see how that one goes, though. I still would be interested in seeing it, but, you know, they're saying that they're in talks to do it, which means, like, I feel like it's starting to get too big. You know, it was just like, it's some simple shit. Just sit down with your fucking computer and a mic and your phone and come on and play it. Now we got to have talks about it, you know, so it's just like, maybe it's going to another level. JD and Dallas Austin, for whatever reason, I'm not interested in that one at all, you guys. But they're saying that them two may be going up against each other. I'm sure once it's going, it's going to be a good one. But one that I absolutely don't care about is Bone Thugs and Harmony and 3-6 Mafia. I believe that they will be battling in these next few days. And I wasn't a fan of neither. You know, of course, I love boom, 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 boom. Now tell me what you gonna do when there ain't no place to run. Them judgment come for you, now it's gonna come from you. Now what you gonna do when there ain't no place to hide? And judgment comes for you. Head down, they miss his Uncle Charlie. God's got him, and I'm gonna miss everybody, man. Of course you love that, you guys. And, you know, I like Bone and Biggie, their song together. Notorious Thugs. It's Bone and Biggie. It's just Bone and Biggie. I won't keep on, but you guys know what I'm saying. But for the most part, I was not no big Bone Thugs and Harmony fan. I was not no big 3-6 Mafia fan. I just wasn't. But I think that'll actually be a good matchup, and we'll see how that goes. That will be this week, maybe Friday or Saturday, I believe. And yeah, I think that's it on the versus battles that's coming up. And then lastly, you guys, we got to talk about that Black Girl Magic, y'all. They say that Michelle Obama is going to be having a documentary on Netflix. Evidently, they had cameras that followed them for the duration of her book tour. This mister is in front of my car acting stupid. Oh, shit. You done made me lose my fucking train of thought. Michelle Obama had the cameras following her while she was doing her book tour for Becoming Michelle Obama for her book. And so now they have enough footage to create this documentary, Becoming Michelle Obama, that will be airing on Netflix. So good for Michelle Obama, you guys. That is forever my first lady. She made $36 million from that book, the book tour. You know, remember she was going from state to state and making her coins for real. Oh my God, $36 million just from one book. I mean, can you imagine? Okay, New York Times bestseller list, all of that. So I'm just very happy for her, and of course very proud to call her my first lady, and that she's this Black woman who is, you know, who is loved by all, not just Black people, but just that spirit that's within her. I just admire her so much. So congratulations. Y'all know what I'm about to give her, right? It's the fist pump of righteousness for that Black Girl Magic. You ain't gonna get enough of us now, are you? All right, you guys, let me get off of here and get on back into the house. I was about to say office. Get this edited and up to you guys. It is Wednesday. I'm trying to get this up on Wednesday so I can get my monies for it from both Wednesday and Thursday. Tomorrow being the last of the month. But you guys be safe out there. Make sure you wash your hands, okay? And I am going to get on, okay? We do this every single week. So make sure that you rate, comment, and subscribe, and make sure you come back. Till next time, rock stars. Bye.